Calgary Flames trade talks are intensifying as NHL Insider David Pagnotta suggests a big roster move. Not only does he believe the Flames will trade their expiring contracts, but he suggests they will trade some of their stars with term, like Rasmus Andersson and Nazem Kadri. Plus, trade rumors intensify even more as the Flames are the favorites to land Kaapo Kakko from the New York Rangers. We're going to get into all that and more in this video, but first I want to welcome you to Flames Digest. I'm Mark Griffith. If you're new around here and you love the Flames, make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the latest news, updates, reports, and rumors revolving around your Calgary Flames. We would love to welcome you to the Flames Digest family. Let's hop straight in, everybody, and talk about these trade talks intensifying. And we've made a few videos over the past few weeks now about some of these trade rumors. They're starting to heat up, they're escalating, they're intensifying, and the Flames are really starting to become one of the teams that's talked about the most, if not, they are the most talked about team in the NHL trade rumor mill right now, as well as some others. And it's because the Flames are kind of sellers, but they could also be buyers. They have some valuable assets that they could trade away, but they're also looking to add. That's why it's going crazy. But let's take it one step even further. Talk about how the trade buzz is growing. Teams want several Calgary Flames players. So the trade buzz is picking up surrounding the Flames and what direction Greg Conroy will head in terms of his retool on the fly. It's a complicated situation overall. A lot of people still aren't accepting that the Flames should rebuild. A lot of people think that the Flames should only rebuild and never try to win a game again. It's complicated all over the map, but the trade buzz always continues. So let's get into this. So could there be more than just expiring deals traded by the Flames? Because we know last year, Conroy, he did trade away all the expiring deals, which was good. It was necessary. It was what was needed to happen. Tanev, Hanifin, Lindholm, etc., etc. There are so many names. We even saw, as we see here, the moves may not be limited to players on expiring deals like last year. Remember, goalie Jacob Markstrom had term left on his deal before he was traded to the Devils in the summer. There could be a similar situation with Nazem Kadri and Rasmus Andersson. So, if we go into kind of the title of this video, talking about the NHL Insider, he actually had a lot to say on this matter. I'm not going to go over absolutely all of it, but I do have a couple long quotes coming from him here in a second. Now, if we get into this first one, this is what Pagnotta had to say. You've got Nazem Kadri at the center position up front. And you've got Rasmus Andersson on that back end, who will continue to draw significant interest from Calgary. He's got another year on his contract. He's got a little bit of protection, but he's a coveted asset for teams looking to shore up their blue line, especially in the top four now and next season. Not exclusive to a run this year because of the extra year on his contract. So I believe at least in the summer, he was open to a change of scenery. He wanted to see, and the Flames wanted to see how they would do this here. Now, obviously, what's very interesting here is saying that Pagnotta certainly believes, and as an insider knows probably better than us, that, hey, maybe Andersson was maybe looking around, was open to a change of scenery, whereas now it might not be that open. However, the Flames know that if the right deal is struck or at least proposed, there could definitely be an Andersson trade sooner than later. We can definitely say about that. It's interesting. I know a lot of people would love to keep Andersson. I also would. It would hurt to lose him, but it would also, if you are offered a deal that you just cannot refuse, sometimes you just got to do it. It's a toss-up for sure. Maybe it'd be better to keep Andersson for now for sure, but who knows towards the trade deadline what kind of talks we will be having. If we could just continue the article here for a second. However, according to RG, who spoke with Flames general manager exclusively, he hopes to re-sign the defenseman to a long-term deal. So there you go. In Conroy's ideal world, he'd rather keep Andersson than trade him. Rasmus loves being a Calgary Flame, Conroy said, and again, some of this decision is up to him. When you have a player who likes the market and wants to be there, you try to get that guy signed, and he's at a great age. There is zero issue with keeping Rasmus Andersson. In fact, I think it's what's for the best. I know a lot of people in the comments are saying, look, this is our future captain. We need to keep him. Why would we trade away our best player? That's not how you run a hockey team. All very valid points, of course. Again, if you're offered a deal you simply can't refuse, maybe you have to take it. His value will never be higher. There's two sides to the equation, of course, pros and cons of each side, but it is very interesting. Now, if we get into another sort of comment here from Pagnotta, he had to say this as well. Craig Conroy, general manager, has to navigate the trade waters with respect to what direction he wants to go in. They've got some pieces on expiring deals, and Andrei Kuzmenko is leading that charge up front. You've got Dan Vladar in goal, also on an expiring deal. Those are going to be two guys that are going to get talked about as the season moves along closer to the March 7th trade deadline. But they have other pieces that have been making headlines for one way or another that were available in the summer that teams are going to start to circle back on, or the Flames are going to start to explore as well. So again, it kind of does a little bit of callback here to saying the Flames do have some of these expiring contracts. You think of Kuzmenko, you think of Dan Vladar, definitely involved in trade rumors. Not sure how much you can get for them. Anthony Mantha, before he got injured, was of course the front runner of all of that. But again, you have these players who, like Andersson, might have had some interest in the summer and now more so seem like they want to be in Calgary. Guys like Andersson, Kadri, you can even throw in people like Coleman in there who have been involved in some trade rumors as well. And it is interesting that overall there's so many different ways the Flames could go about it, and Craig Conroy has a lot on his menu. If we just wrap up the article a little bit here. So it had been reported that the Flames were looking for a center earlier in the season. RG reported during their exclusive interview with Conroy that he is open to an age-appropriate right shot center. He would be willing to use one of his first-round picks to get that player, which I know a lot of Flames fans are gritting their teeth at that. They don't want to give up any first-round picks, especially not knowing which first-round picks we will even have. But either way, as NHL Trade Talk documented on Friday, the Sabres are getting calls on Dylan Cozens at his age and cap hit. He's the type of player Conroy is looking for. We've talked about Cozens so much. I know it's still just going crazy, running rampant in the trade rumor mill, talking about Cozens, but he is the type of player that the Flames sort of are looking for. I just hope we wouldn't want to give up way too much on that one. If we get into the next one here, it's a potential acquisition. I know a lot of people who looked at the thumbnail first are wondering, when are you going to talk about this guy? Well, here you go. Flames predicted to trade for former number 2 overall pick in blockbuster move. Now, this is probably a little bit more of clickbait than reality than the last chapter, but who knows? Hearing that the Flames are most likely the favorites to land a former second overall pick, and there have been some great second overall picks in NHL history, especially Jason Spezza. Let's dive in here. So Kaapo Kakko, there you go, the former number 2 overall pick, was taken with the second pick in 2019, but could become a trade casualty as the free-falling Rangers, who are 3-9 in their last 12 games, look to shake up their roster and salvage their season. Crazy things going on in Ranger land. They've already traded away Trouba, their captain. There's rumors about Zibanejad, about Kreider, about so many of those other veterans. And now Kaapo Kakko, who's been disappointing, who has been a healthy scratch lately, could be on his way out as a former second overall pick. Pretty crazy. So why it would work. Calgary has been good with reclamation projects in recent years. They turned former bottom 6 forward Sharangovich into a 30-goal scorer. He's totally repeating that this year, isn't he, guys? Depth defenseman Kevin Ball has matched his career high in points in just 31 games with the Flames this season. Incredible, incredible player. Daniil Miramanov, previously a fringe NHL defenseman, has become a stalwart on Calgary's blue line. Will he still be once some of our prospects have gotten a little bit more experience? I'm not too sure, but again, it could work because the Flames lately have been known to turn these disappointments into good players, especially when they get an elevated role, of course. What would he cost? That's a question all of us care about. So probably not much. Boom, perfect. All right, let's pick him up. The Rangers would likely want a roster player back, but unless Kakko is part of a bigger trade, it's not super likely. With 131 points and 329 career games and a career high of 40 points in one season, Kakko has failed to live up to his draft position so far. Thus, his value isn't as high as New York would probably like it to be. Kakko for Kuzmenko? Who says no? The Rangers might need to make the cap work in a way we could pick up a little something else. I don't know. I'm not Craig Conroy, but I'd be making a call or two when it comes down to it. Maybe a couple disappointing players traded for each other. I'm not too sure. Let me know if you'd be interested in trying to pick up Kakko. He could definitely fit in with a good role on this Flames team. Now let's wrap this one up with the comment of the day, as we love to do. Of course, it comes from yesterday's video, and I loved this comment. A true trade proposal here. You'll love to see it. It comes from Jason. So he said, The Sabres are mired in a 10-game losing streak and are in desperate need of a shakeup. They have the basis for a solid D-core, but more so on the left side. Could be a good time to pull the trigger on a Razzie deal if we're ever going to. I love how you touch every base and make everyone happy here. So to Buffalo, Rasmus Andersson. To Calgary, Dylan Cousins, a first-round pick, and left-handed defenseman Simon-Pierre Brunet, who was the 124th overall pick in this year's draft. Not a bad trade at all. This is what I like to see. A lot of people are saying, why the heck would the Sabres want to trade for Buffalo? They have one of the best D-cores in the league. Are you kidding me? The Sabres suck. They haven't been to the playoffs since 2011. 10-game losing streak. I mean, I don't want to hate on anyone's take here, but come on. Seriously, who the heck is saying Buffalo has good defense? But either way, loved this trade proposal here. That's what the comment section is for. Nice trade proposals. Thank you so much for proposing that one, Jason. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe like we saw here today and have a wonderful rest of your day.